Shall we go and speak with Sir Lennart, Master? I believe I can guide you to the person in question.
A guide is most welcome. Now we shan't lose our way.
Oh, have you some business with the apothecary, sir? Dreadful sorry if I was in your way.
Oh, no, I'm not lost or naught, sir. You needn't worry yourself on my account. I'm an apothecary in training, you see. My family runs a little shop in Vernworth.
So when I heard tell of a medicine only to be found in this village, I thought I'd come and fetch some for us. Made the journey all by myself as well, if you can believe it.
But, well, as luck would have it, I've not enough gold for the medicine. 'Twill be a shame to return empty-handed after coming all this way. But what more can I do? What? You'd do that? You'd get the medicine for me? Suppose there's no harm in that, if you're really sure. Oh, sir, I'd be most grateful.
Seems my luck's not as rotten as I thought. I'll wait right here for your return, sir. And many thanks for your kindness.
We could make the fruit robberant ourselves, or simply purchase some at Rune's apothecary here in Melve.
Yes, of course.
Hello again, sir. Say, have you brought some fruit robberant for me?
Oh, well, if you do pick some up, you know where to find me.
Come, I'll lead the way. We have arrived.
Here at the inn, we also offer changes of vocation for those who seek it. I get so few customers, you see, that I can manage both roles myself. But enough about me. Did you need something?
Always a pleasure.
We ought not tarry, but deliver what we have retrieved post-haste.
Hello again, sir. Say, have you brought some fruit robberant for me? Oh, so this is what it looks like. Brilliant. Many thanks, sir.
I haven't much to offer in return, but I'll be sure to tell Grandfather what you did for us. He'll want to reward you proper like, I'll bet.
It was a pleasure to recount such good tidings.
You really ought to have returned by now.
Well met. You're the one who saved Ulrika's life, aren't you? She told me all about it. It was a very brave thing you did. I'm in your debt. Ulrika's as good as my daughter. Here, consider this a small token of my gratitude. Now, tell me, are you registered with a guild? Perhaps you already know this, but registering with a guild will grant you access to specialized training, which comes in very useful when pursuing a vocation. Well now, that won't do. You need only speak with the innkeeper to register. Go on, 'twill only take a moment. If there is aught you wish to know of vocations, mayhap I can advise you. Very well. There is no wrong choice in any case. It is entirely up to you which vocation you adopt. But I shan't take up any more of your time. Pray, be well.
This might be worth a read.
Let's have a look then.
What am I to do? You really ought to have returned by now.
Mayhap 'tis time I went looking for him.
That place puts my ears on end.
A common reward. Frustratingly so.
We cannot expect gleaming treasures round every corner.
Here at the inn, we also offer... I get so few customers, you see, that I can manage both roles myself. But enough. About me. Did you need something? Do come again. Lots to do.
Well done, Arisen.
Here at the inn, I get so few customers, you see, that I can manage both roles myself. But enough about me. Did you need something? Do come again.
I'm honored, Master. This maester's teaching is a precious gift. I swear I shall make good use of it.
So this is where you've been. Come with me to the village entrance. The watchhead's waiting for you.
Shall we seek some answers?
You really ought to have returned by now. Mayhaps it's time I went looking for it. That place puts my hairs red.
Sir Gregor wishes to speak with you, Master. Shall we go to him?
What am I to do? He really ought to have...
Have you a different destination in mind, Master? Very well. I shall follow your lead instead.
The Arisen decides our path. We have but to follow. To the chest. I shall take a look inside.
We're here.
I've a selection of wares that's sure to please. Hope to see you again.
Pray, follow me.
Ah, you've returned. Good timing, too. I have questions for you. First and foremost, will you accompany me to the capital? My thanks. Are you ready to depart, or do you need some time to prepare? Good. Then let us be on our way.
As a matter of fact,
Every master I've ever served has favored different tactics. One party I joined considered—
We've got goblins! Careful now. No one can defend themselves when grappled like this. No harm shall come to you. That was well fought. There's no one standing who might say otherwise. We mustn't allow ourselves to become complacent. Take each trial as it comes.
The Arisen is the lawful ruler of vermin. So our kingdom sees many pretenders, and they are not dealt with.
Is there nothing we can do about this obstacle? I can attack if need be. I would gladly be obeyed, Arisen. Look there. I espy another statue. Climbing it would grant a clearer picture of our environs.
Hold here a moment. I shall bid them open the gate.
Who's that you've brought with you, Watchhead, sir?
An Arisen, by all appearances.
An Arisen? Another pretender, you mean? I see the Sovereign's ascension has done little to stop such charlatans from plying their trade.
'Tis uncertain. This one commands the loyalty of the pawns.
What? Impossible. You know as well as I do that there can be but one Arisen, and he's up in the palace.
I'm well aware of how preposterous the idea is, thank you. However, as I do not believe it my place to rule on such a matter, I will make my report to the capital. If the claim is false, we will be rewarded handsomely for our trouble. If the claim is true, however, who can say? All's been arranged. Come, let us pass through the gate.
You're welcome to take whatever you like from my pack, Master. I'd gladly see you put what I find to good use.
Oh, could use a rest. An ox cart was meant to meet us, yet 'tis nowhere in sight. Aught may have befallen it. Best we press on.
Just yonder looks to be a good spot for harvesting ingredients. Shall we see if there's aught to be found while we're here? Pray, allow me to open yon chest. I'll gather this. It might be of use.
More marks of the dragon's fury. Its rampage must have weakened the earth here.
Master, I shall not blame you.
I dare say the cart shan't be traversing this. Onward! It might await us on the road ahead.
Fire must be put out. Comrades, you truly are formidable, Arisen.
I'd wager our merry band can handle whatever comes.
Capable comrades are a boon indeed. You have my support.
Arisen! I knew you loved this world too much to leave it behind.
What's this? We're trapped. A Cyclops! To think we'd encounter one here of all places.
Cyclops! Pray, be on your guard.
I had taken you for another false Arisen. Goodness knows we see a lot of them. Yet the value you showed in coming to our aid has dispelled such thoughts. Here, take this as a mark of my trust. Give it to one of the sentinels stationed at the gates to the capital, and you'll be granted an audience with Captain Brandt. You're free to make your own way to the capital now. I see no need to keep you under constant watch, and I'm sure you'll breathe a little easier as well, aye? Of course, if you'd rather continue to accompany us, you are still welcome to join us on the ox cart. 'Tis your decision.
An ox cart ought to make up.
Ah, here's the cart now. Do you intend to join us? Very well. Board the ox cart and we'll be off.
I see a ladder yonder, but we can't reach it from here. We'll have to get up there and drop it down. I'd wager there's aught to be found here.
We ought to take a closer look. I'll go and open the chest.
Goblins! What rotten luck! We've need of your aid again, sir.
duty not to fall here. That's enough.
Seems we drove them off. You've my thanks for aiding us. Vernworth isn't far from here. Will you join us the rest of the way? All right. Into the ox cart, then.
If you are in need of aid, pray say the word.
I was informed of your coming would be arisen.
Captain Brandt, this individual summoned a pawn through a rift stone. Several witnesses can attest to it. Though I admit I had my doubts at first. 'Twould seem this is no mere deceiver.
This one's not a bad sort. Saved our hides on the way here.
As decreed by the great will of our world, there can only be one arisen. That arisen now resides within the palace. Indeed, he is our sovereign and the rightful ruler of Vermont. It follows, therefore, that this ruffian before us is naught but a pretender. You must submit to questioning. If you value your life, you will not attempt to flee. I shall conduct the interrogation myself. Stand watch outside. I beg your forgiveness for my insolence, Your Majesty. If the Queen Regent had learned of your existence, I fear your life would have been in peril. I had no choice but to treat you as a pretender, lest my actions draw suspicion from watchful eyes. Then you have truly lost your memory? In that case, mayhap I ought to explain the situation before we proceed. You, and no other, are the sovereign, the only legitimate ruler of this kingdom. Some days past, you confronted the dragon in the village of Melv, whereupon you became arisen. The people rejoiced, for our true liege had finally appeared, ending Vermont's long years of council rule. Yet, not all celebrated your coming. Your arrival would have robbed the Queen Regent Disa of everything. During the time of the previous council, she acted as a queen in her own right, ruling the palace as she saw fit. And just after the consul's passing, when 'twas all but certain that her son would take his father's place, word reached the castle that the Arisen had been found. To Disa, your Majesty's very existence is naught but an obstacle to her own family's continued prosperity. The assassination of the Arisen is an impossible feat for mortal hands. Thus, Disa chose to abduct your Majesty while you recovered from your wounds, in order to rob you of your memory with a fell curse and sell you to Batal as a slave. Following that, she prepared a replacement to serve as the sovereign in your stead, a mere puppet. However, with your Majesty returned, I have no intention of twiddling my thumbs as Disa plays her games. I shall devise some plans to further our cause. Pray, visit me a night in the tavern that we might discuss them. This one's cleared of all suspicion and has my permission to remain in the capital. You are to trouble the good sir no further. Are we clear?
Pray forgive me, I'm in a bit of a hurry.
Consarn it! Get back here! You there! Did you see an urchin in a cap run past just now? Can you tell me which way he went? Many thanks. I'll catch that wretch yet.
You're a kind one, aren't you? 'Twould seem I am in your debt. In fact, there's aught I would ask of you if you've the time to spare.
Aha! There you are!
Oh, apologies, but our chat will have to wait. Till next we meet. Farewell.
I believe I can guide you to the person in question.
Never mind what they say. Wonder if it's too early for dinner.
Oh dear. What am I to do? Hail, friend. Have you a spare moment? I've an eye for people, and my instincts tell me you're of trustworthy ilk. I'm in a bit of a quandary, you see. I'm to be gone for a week, with no one slated to mind the house in my stead. Fear not, I only ask your name to list as a tenant. You needn't bother yourself with the cleaning, and I don't expect you to stay cooped up in there, neither. I'd be much obliged if you'd simply consider my home a waypoint on your travels. Sound appealing? Then come on by and have a look-see. I've taken the liberty of marking the location on your map.
Got to accept life as its ups and downs.
You've come. Glad to see you, friend. So, what say you? Would you care to live here in my absence? As I've said, you needn't worry about tending to the place. Many thanks, friend. I knew I could count on you. I'll stop by again in a week's time, but till then, farewell.
We will find much better rest in an abode than out in the elements, methinks. Let us make good use of it while we can. Right you are.
Greetings. Welcome to the Guild Hall. Here we conduct all manner of procedures pertaining to vocations. If there is aught I may assist you with, simply say the word.
Always a pleasure.
Someone else. And have a look. I've wares of every ilk. Welcome, good sir. My services lie in the styling of hair and the painting of faces. Should you so desire, I can help you find your truest self. Ooh, very nice indeed. Good day, sir. What might you be looking for?
Would that I could spend all day
Any loose coin about, enough to make me rich. My back's acting up today.
There's comfort in the humdrum.
Well met. You are come to Shakir's Inn, a place of respite for the weary traveller. You will soon forget the fatigue of a long journey when treated to the foremost hospitality in all Vernworth. You know where to find me. I fear I've no wisdom.
Well done, Arisen. You have a...
Well met. You will soon forget the fatigue of a long journey when treated to... the foremost hospitality. You know where to find me.
Peruse at your leisure. My stomach's growling.
It's naught but fry of late.
And I just do nothing because of sweet meats and ale.
Good day, sir. What might you be looking for?
Need anything?
Here's hoping this season.
All this work,
Use a rest.
shred of gratitude. Find a tavern for a drink and some gossip.
Must hold out. Someone comes to me.
Ahoy there, friend! Care to help a fellow out? All I ask is that you hear my request. What have you got to lose? My thanks, sir. As to the matter at hand, it concerns my ox cart business. I've been holding off service on account of all the monsters on the road, but now I feel prepared to start making trips to Melv again. Only trouble is, there are still monsters about, and I can't help but worry for the safety of the carts. That's where you come in. See, I've got a letter here from Lady Margit, the Watchhead's wife, to be delivered to one Sir Leonard in Melv. I'd like you to accompany the cart in my stead and see to it that the letter reaches its recipient. What say you, friend? Splendid! I knew I was right to put my faith in you. Now, the carts only depart at certain hours of the day, but I find that time flies when I take a seat at the station to wait. And mind you, don't forget to pay your way before you board. That's standard practice, and I would advise against trying any funny business. Each cart travels with an escort of trained soldiers, see, in case it encounters any monsters out on the road. So anyone thinking of riding for free will have to take the issue up with them. But enough of my lecturing. Just make sure that letter gets to Sir Leonard, then come find me when the job's done. Oh, and I'll pay your fare this time, seeing as you're doing me a favor and all. Come find me when you've delivered that letter. I'll be waiting to hear from you.
We ought to see this to its destination.
This ox cart's bound for Melv. I'll need to see some coin before I let you on.
Yon path leads not to our destination. If you would prefer to
This ox cart's bound for Melv. I'll not take you anywhere till I've had my due.
Ox carts make for relatively safer travel.
Fewer monsters are to be found on the main road, though carts travel only by the sun's light.
We ought to proceed with caution. Use me as your foothold to soar to greater heights. My curative magics are at your disposal. Wait right there. Douse the flame before it is too late.
My patience wears thin.
Suppose courage can only take you so far.
Those of this caliber are hardly worth hearing. I quite agree.
Ah, here we are. The ox cart made it without too much trouble.
Mayhap we can employ a cart for our next journey.
You really ought to have returned by now. Mayhap 'tis time I went looking for it. To have returned by now. Mayhap 'tis time I went looking for it. That place puts my hairs on.
What to do?
I've not said no to skip.
Hale, if you've a moment to spare, I'd like a word. As you can see, we're rebuilding, a task that can always benefit from another pair of hands. What say you? Would you be willing to help? Excellent. You're a good sort. I'll not soon forget this. Here's what I need from you. A basque of saurians has made their nest outside the village. Though they're yet to cause any harm, their proximity makes the villagers uneasy. I'd like to enlist your aid in driving them away. I've prepared some explosive casks and left them by the village entrance. Use...
A saurian nest so near the village is worrying indeed.
Let us see the explosive casks there as quickly as we may. I quite agree.
The paths to victory are myriad indeed. That strategy never would have occurred to me.
Truly?
Where are you going?
What can I do for you? Ah, a letter from Lady Margaret, you say? It is a fair way you've come, then. My thanks. She's a kindly sort, I must say. We met when I worked with her husband, Sir Gregor, on one occasion. Now she's taken to inquiring after my health at the turn of every season.
Shall we report our results?
That Lady Margaret's a kindly sort. We met when I worked with her husband, Sir Gregor, on one occasion. Now she's taken to inquiring after my health at the turn of every season. Well, that appears to have sent some of the beasts reeling, at least. To finish the job, I'd have you drop a jar of poison into their nest. With any luck, the Saurians will realize that they chose a perilous spot and steer clear of the village boundary. But pray, take care not to drop it in the river. The villagers use that water on a daily basis. You must make sure your aim is true. Are we clear? Good. You'll find the jars of poison just outside the village. Toss one into the Saurian's nest, and your task is done.
Now we are to throw a jar of poison. Be sure to handle it with care, Master.
It's this way.
Well done, Master. Those Saurians shan't dare approach the village for some time, thanks to your efforts. One could not have hoped for a gladder outcome.
You've done as I asked, I see. Many thanks for your efforts. And I must say, you've a fine arm. I couldn't have done better myself. Watching you got me thinking. Mayhap you've the sense to inherit the skills I possess. Or perhaps 'tis a little early for such talk. In any event, thanks to the work you've done for us today, the rebuilding efforts ought to proceed apace. And for that, I'm grateful.
Our task is complete. That was certain. Worthwhile. We've made it then. What's our first order of business, Arisen? Just recalled a little tidbit I heard from the locals. Regarding the Vermundian military, yes?